So, has your once effective weight loss journey completely stalled or actually headed in the opposite direction? Well, if you're tracking your activity and your caloric output using the Apple Watch, that could be the reason why. Here we go. Listen, I get it. You just started a brand new fitness routine, or you've been doing your current routine consistently enough and long enough that you'd like to see just how much activity you're actually getting in during the day. And so you pull the trigger on a brand new fitness tracker. And you get really excited at first because you're starting to accumulate all those cute awards and badges that they give you for your first pedaling workout, or your longest stretch session, or all the fireworks that go off when you finally hit your daily step goal. But then you go to get on the scale and you realize your weight hasn't budged, or is actually headed in the wrong direction. And there could be a really simple reason why. But let's talk about these wearables for just a second. Now, the Apple Watch is the dominant player in the wearables market, followed by Fitbit, Samsung, Garmin, the now TikTok viral Oura Ring, and the Whoop Band. But the information I'm about to share with you applies to any of the wearables that are commercially available as of the publication of this video. Now, don't get me wrong, these devices do have some advantages for those working to get fit. The heart rate sensors in them tend to be very accurate, and for those that have oxygenation sensors included, they work very well too. The Apple Watch can actually do a simple EKG, and if the results seem wacky, you can at least follow up with a doctor and an actual EKG machine to verify them. But the watch does give you an initial indication if there's a problem. And for the watches that have GPS, the geolocation and navigational features on them are extremely accurate. And some watches now even have SOS capabilities along with audible multi-decibel alerts and crash and fall detection. All amazing features that even just 5 years ago were on the very bleeding edge of technology. But from a fitness standpoint, that's where the accuracy piece begins to fall apart, especially if you're depending on the information from your wearable to meet your diet and fitness goals. You see, there have been numerous studies, the three most relevant of which I've included in the show notes of this video, that prove that these wearables overstate our steps per day and our exertion or calories burned by at least as much as 15% and can be as high as 30%. And when it comes to your caloric intake, 30% wrong is very much so the difference between being in a caloric deficit and losing the pounds you're looking for, and then being in a caloric surplus and actually putting pounds on. Here's what I mean. I personally use the app called MyFitnessPal to track my daily caloric intake of every meal, every snack, every drink that I have throughout the day. I also have it integrated with my iPhone and my Apple Watch to reflect, through the activities that I record in both of those, how many calories I burn that day. And so by extension, using the MyFitnessPal app for my caloric intake, and then the information from my Apple Watch and my iPhone for my caloric output, I can then get a pretty rough estimate of how many calories I need to eat to either maintain my weight, add some weight, or begin losing a little bit of weight. So by me using the app and my Apple Watch and iPhone in combination, I get an output that says I have an additional 500 calories available to eat to still meet my fitness goals for that day, when in fact my Apple Watch is overstating my caloric burn and I'm already in a caloric surplus. You can see how in just 3 to 5 days, I can easily put on a pound of fat. And yes, it is just that easy. That's why we have far more people looking for ways to lose weight than there are people trying to figure out how to gain it. And in a game of simple math and physics, your calories in have to be less than your calories out in order for you to actually lose weight and fat. When it comes to weight loss, being 30% wrong is at best bad and at worst diet ending. You see, you think you're doing all the right things, but constantly come up short. And eventually you quit because you're just not seeing the progress you think you're supposed to. As opposed to getting the right inputs up front and using actual measurements for your progress, being honest with yourself and your body. And if you do that, you can manage your weight for a lifetime. So if your Apple Watch or wearable tech isn't accurate for tracking your fitness, what do you use? The answer is actually quite simple, albeit very unpopular. First, you're going to need to know your base metabolic rate. And there's calculators for that all over the internet that will get you within 1 to 200 calories of your basic daily need. You're going to add 500 to 750 calories to account for your actual daily activities, including exercise. And then you eat just that amount to keep your weight perfectly stable. And to start losing weight, you begin eating 250 to 500 calories less. And then you actually get on a scale. I would say probably 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is a pretty good schedule. This will allow you to account for water weight, fluctuations in your diet, etc. And it will be an extremely accurate guide for determining whether or not you are 1, maintaining, 2, overeating, or 3, eating in enough of a caloric deficit to begin sensibly losing weight, about a pound a week. As for your smartwatch, I would use it strictly to get an overview of your general steps per day and your working heart rate. Outside of that, by all means, enjoy all the benefits that your smartwatch is able to provide you. But keep the health tracking to your bathroom scale, your blood test results, and if you're a type 2 or a type 1 diabetic, your A1C. See? Easy enough. And if you've made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. And as always, help the channel grow by doing the big 3, like, subscribe, and then comment below what your favorite wearable brand is and why. I've got more coming like this, but in the meantime, keep your spirits high, keep your blood sugar steady, and I will see you in the next one.